Welcome, everybody, to the EU postseason. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's, and we are here early for a matchup that started ahead of schedule and will end up ending before we were even set to start our first matchup of the afternoon today. But it is Acer EU versus Cryptics. Already, map 1 has occurred, and they have managed to take that 9-6 on Cliffside. So an interesting result there out the gate from Acer EU. Cryptics coming in pretty close at the end of the day, and I find that pretty impressive that they've made it as close as they did against Acer EU in map 1. Cliffside maybe just a map that Acer EU aren't comfortable with, but I got to step back and let everyone know what the format is for this afternoon. Today we are into the winners bracket matchups. Our first 2 series of the afternoon are the winners bracket matchups, where we will have Acer EU and Cryptics playing. They've already played 1 map. They're in a best of 3 series. And then we have... oh, shoot, I don't have the bracket. I do have the bracket up. Meeks and Ascendancy next. And then 2 games played out in the losers bracket. We'll only cast 1 of them. So several series for EU this afternoon. It starts all over again at 3 p.m. PST for NA. And yeah, we do apologize for missing a map, but these teams started early. They both wanted to get their game out of the way at the start of the afternoon, and so we are now just waiting on Acer EU, I believe, to get their 5th in lobby. And then we will jump into map number 2 of this series. But I appreciate everyone stopping by, hanging out, and tuning in today to check out what is going to be some very top-tier VAIL competitive action. I'm looking forward to being able to check out the second map, considering Cryptics brought this to a 9-6. I'm very curious where we're going to end up at the end of this, if Cryptics are going to be able to squeak away with a map. But I think Acer EU is kind of this unstoppable force, so to speak. They were 4v5 yesterday at the start of the tournament and still won through, which I find, again, even more impressive that they're able to do something like that. And we now get ready to go into, a second map, and I'm not seeing Acer with a full 5 in lobby, so we'll have to just wait and see if they're going to have another 4v5 power play here for Cryptics, so to speak. But yeah, we've been tuning into postseason action all weekend so far. Some really great back and forth. It's been a lot of fun to cast, a lot of fun to catch. You know, it's been, interestingly enough, the roster boss definitely hitting a lot of these EU teams here in this postseason. But I don't know. I hope to see Acer EU bring in a full 5 here. I imagine they're just having a quick break to either swap one out or bring back the player that's having some tech problems, hopefully. But we should be jumping into the second map shortly, as, again, we are ready. Hopefully they're not waiting for me. But, yeah, appreciate everyone tuning in, hanging out, and enjoying the action today. It is Day 2 of the double elimination bracket. We'll have this all over again next weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Multiple rounds played out, and I think Sunday might be the finals. I don't know that it's more weekends than that, but we'll have to see. As I have a cat rubbing up against me very aggressively, asking for pets. It's early in the morning. Just woken up. Got some scratches. Like being held. But you got the cat text, so you should be happy. Looks like we are having some technical issues getting a player in, so do bear with us as we sort those out on our side. But cat tax is paid. I think that's really all that matters from my perspective. On the line this afternoon, that's what I want to talk about, the prize pool for these teams if they do manage to come out on top. An incredibly unique one. that's only available because of VAIL's partnership with VRML and because of VAIL's support for the VRML, allowing us to provide in-game cosmetic skins to the champion team that are sold. Revenue is then shared to the winning team of all skins, of all of those skins sold. It's a unique opportunity that's only present in the VAIL VRML ecosystem, and we're really happy that Axe Labs has partnered with us to enable us to do this. Obviously also supporting VRML for VRML Con, where there is an open qualifier starting relatively soon, a couple of weeks, where if you buy a ticket to VRML Con, you can enter into the open qualifier. You can get a chance to compete at VRML Con, play on stage, and win $5,000 in cash. There's a good chunk of change on the line this afternoon, at the end of the day, when it comes to VRML Con, and I think I've stalled long enough. We are ready to get into the action, and for better or worse, this dang Acer team can't get 5 into the lobby. They had 5 at the start of it, but technical difficulties seem to be plaguing them, and there are hard time limits on between round timers. So in this best of 3, this is actually Miru Knight, apologies, we are going into Miru with Acer down a player again. Cryptics going up against Acer EU. Hoping to take a second map this afternoon and take this to a 3, and the knife there misses. John Yakuza scooping up the kill. Pushing through the smoke is the Fortnite Pro. We'll see if they find much of anything as they're alone over at a site. Meanwhile, rotation coming in. Up through the center. Ooh, and with Scanner down, they have to go back and pick up Scanner. You got to see John swinging through here, and they're going to challenge that first fight on the stairs. Can't quite scoop it up. They lose their backline defense, so it does mean that Extrius is swinging in from that backside, but Donk will get the kill anyway at the front of the stairs. And Cryptics off to a 1-0 lead. Let me update your overall scores here. As Acer EU took a 9-6 map 1. Now Cryptics lead 1-0 here, and I guess maybe that's how it got 9-6, but Acer back to 5, and I saw 5v5 on map 1, so I know they weren't down a player map 1. Hopefully technical issues have been sorted here. And I'm going to get back into the action. Utility up over the top, a knife out through the smoke, doesn't connect. One from the Fortnite Pro does. Extra is swinging out, trying to deny the scanner, but it doesn't get denied. This goes down, and now defense dropping back to defend. The retake from Extrius is pretty quick as that nade comes zipping over their head. They'll just barely avoid it, but finally Frazier will find the kill they were looking for, with the nade also connecting on the backline for a secondary kill. Acer EU very quickly right back into this. Work through the smoke there. Triple stacked over here on defense, very vulnerable to a big nade, but Extrius is going to push forward. They'll get shot by Buckshot. Buckshot swings for a double. Finally shut down by Roberta's, as on site the swing there from Pike is very fast, and Cryptics not able to react accordingly. Not going to be ready for the swing up to the middle. No, they are. They read it nicely. Can't connect onto the shots from Pike as they swing out crouched. Getting pushed in through the smoke, and imagine trying to find somewhere to tide and just can't quite get any safe space. Pike snuffs them out, and 2-1 here. Acer EU. Got a purr machine on my table right now. Purring cat. Enjoying the action. Yeah, you like VAIL? It's good stuff. Sunshine approves of EU competitive action. I'll tell you that right now. B-side in the smoke. Pan catches a kill. Scanner going down again. Acer EU consistently getting the scanner down, but a nice interrupt from Xtrius a second too late. Trying to get rid of that defender out in the corner, and as they strop out, the duo getting flanked, and the double kill from Buckshot on the back line. It does leave Imagine all alone. Oh, and almost the double. That would have opened up their push towards site. Would have had 25 seconds left. Definitely doable there. Cryptics trying their best to put up a nice fighting chance here, but Acer EU, with a full 5-player roster, a little bit harder to challenge than they were yesterday. Already taking a map, and now leading 3-1 map 2. They could be done with this best-of-3 series. And then we go to a little bit of a break. Waiting for our second matchup of the afternoon. That will be Meeks versus Ascendancy. Seeds 2 versus Seeds 3, so it should be a pretty good time. Fortnite and Roberta's both catching some good kills here. Pan trying to root out that onside defense, but they are getting pinched from the side, and they are the last attacker alive, and somehow at Cryptics absolutely steamrolled through the Acer offense there. That's a big second point, because that first one people may think, oh, it's just kind of a fluke point. They've managed to put a bonus one on the board there, but I don't know. That's pretty powerful to be able to push up to 3 here early, chip away at that lead. If they can go 3-3, I mean, there's a real chance that they could be going 4-3, you know, a 4-4 half, even a positive win rate on the half on defense, which is what they kind of need going up against the squad right now. You can see Acer, meanwhile, have slowed down. They weren't happy about losing that second round. I see some folks jumping in here asking about that first map. No, they just started early, and we were not prepared to cover the action. I simply wasn't home, so can't really stream a video game if you're not at the computer to do it. So because the team started early, we missed the first map, but managed to get home in time for the second, and for Fraser's double kill on site. Acer cleaning up with their 4th point. Quick bounce back, answering back, showing, hey, you know, just because you went 4-1 on defensive round doesn't mean that we can't do it right back to you on offense. Acer always maintaining that stark advantage, at least 9-6 map 1, and now here. But we do appreciate everyone tuning in, and of course we appreciate Axe Labs supporting VRML and providing that in-game cosmetic skin to the champion that's sold in the store, and the revenue is shared with the winning team. Pretty sweet opportunity to be immortalized into the game, get some cash. Also, Buckshot picks up a double, almost makes it 3, finally denied. Knife comes over the top, it doesn't connect, and Scanner is down. John Yakuza's going to have to get this onside defense, but Roberta's with a key kill. Puts us into a 2v2. And Fraser on the attack, trying to work something together, and Scanner down. Robertus knows it's down here at B site. Fortnite Pro dropping their gun and managing to pick it up in time before Mont rotates out through the stairwell. Time ticks down, 50 seconds left. Actually, a lot of time for them to work with. The swing there, Fraser catches a big kill. Fortnite Pro stays alive, keeps their team in it. Scanner does get picked up, and it is going to go down because they're tucking in, trying to catch him on the departure, and Fraser will be able to tuck all the way to the back line there. You got to wonder if they know that the audio is sometimes off on Scanner, so they have to actually have a visual eye on it. Can't rely on that audio cue. As Fraser now pushing up. Drops their rifle, maybe out of ammo. Pistol comes up, and Fortnite Pro clutches it for Cryptics. Don't know what happened. Some butter got on their fingers there, but going up rifle v pistol wasn't the ideal matchup at that range, and I think they ran out of ammo. I don't think you have. I don't. That's possible. I don't know what happened there. Why the pistol came out. Cryptics take 3-4 though. Utilities zipping over the top of Imagine. They're trying to counter with some nades of their own, but they are getting heavily pushed through the smoke. Pan catches one, makes it a double. Robertus on the retake now as Frazier catches Donk, and this duo is all that's left on the defense. Extremely caught out, and Buckshot finds the double. Puts on a little 360 spin.
We're switching sides.
That's the half, 5-3 to Acer EU. We swap sides now after 8 rounds. Acer now defend, and Cryptics attack, so up 5-3 on Miru going into defense. Acer certainly with a bit of an advantage. The pistol round could be interesting, though. See how this team stacks and how they press their advantage on numbers, because it's not going to last long. You can see how quickly Acer is crashing around this defense and how quickly they're picking them off. We're trading back and forth in the smoke as up through the stairs. More utility comes out, and Extrius catches a key kill onto John, trying to swing up. Frazier goes down Pan with a refrag, so it's a 2v2 now. Buckshot and Pan on the retake, and we'll see what they're able to do here, if they're able to scoop up these 2 kills, because Scanner is down, and it's only pistols in hand. Nice reload here, and a good swing out. 1v1 now. Extrius still alive, and they'll go down. Buckshot with the double. Hey. Hold on.
Round starting. Get ready.
And I'm back into the 1v1. Mott trying to clutch it up for Acer EU here. As Robertus drops back, picks up Scanner, and goes for the rotation to A site. Do apologize for that round being a little bit off, but
30 seconds remaining.
time ticks down. Mott trying to figure out where this rotation went, and it actually was a fake out from A to B. Now Mott on the back line. Looking to scoop up this kill. Roberta's on the short corner, and they're not ready for Roberta's down there, and Cryptics catches a big point on the board. 6-4, only a 2-point lead right now. Super impressive to see Cryptics battling back this well against Acer EU this afternoon. We'll look at that matchup history in a second here, but for now, getting ready to dive into round 11 with Acer on the defense and opening up with an early kill. Pretty big. Buckshot here on the short corner, waiting for this offense to push up, but that smoke going to deny them some vision. Through the smoke, one flies out, and they'll catch Fortnite Pro. They push into the smoke themselves. Fly out at Roberta's, and the knife, the one hand, they finally go down in the chaos, but in the chaos, everyone else goes down, and Acer EU
starting.
Scoop up a 7th point, getting closer and closer to a map 2 victory and a series W here. Like Frazier maybe having some issues. No, they're back. And Cryptics trying for a full stack A side. Already losing one again. The early frag, not what they need on offense. They need to pick up that kill there. Mott, if they had gone down on site, would have really opened up this push. And now instead they're kind of stalled and getting pressed by Pan for the triple on the aggressive swing. And Acer EU riding momentum now. 8-4, map 2, series point here. Their advancement and their win pushes them onto the semifinals this afternoon. Gets them that much closer to that last and final matchup next weekend, where we will see a champion crown for the EU Season 3 VAIL VRML champion. It's going to be good stuff. Playing very aggressive now, just trying to press and finish this series. Berta scoops up Frazier, and Cryptics actually with the player numbers now trying to push A side. Maybe the over-aggression impacting Acer a little too much. Don is able to get one. Fending off the cross towards A site, but not ready for the push from the back end. Imagine finds that kill. Cryptics staying in this one a little bit longer until Pan finds shot there. That knife zips over the shoulder of Pan, but doesn't connect. Scanner down from Extrius, and does finally get planted on A site. A little tough time there. Managed to put it down though. Pan with a nice flash around the corner. Let's try to push up. Drop back on the side of Robertus. I think they're out. Nope, still got the rifle up. Short corner, scoops up the final kill. Cryptics stay alive, 8-5. Not quite going out yet here in map 2. Do or die for the Cryptics team. Nice patient push there. Robertus waiting for the swing out from the smoke, waiting for the counter aggression. Acer EU been pushing a little bit forward as Donk manages to take out Robertus. Fortnite takes Pan and Mott down, and suddenly Acer into a 2v2. Maybe even having some connection issues too. That could really be bad timing for them as Buckshot pushes up here. They heard Donk to the right. Doesn't see Donk to the right, though, and swings out for the cough from John Yakuza instead. Donk now alone, and John trying to catch the shots over the top. The flash there. The nade. Kobe doesn't quite get the kill. And John, full HP. Donk, less than half. Oh, and Donk peeks the corner. John scoops up the final kill, and Acer EU lock in a 2-map series win this afternoon. With good timing, we're just 10 minutes away from our next matchup, Meeks versus Ascendancy, and then we'll dive down into the losers bracket. Acer, it'll be Cryptics versus Mini Meeks, and Poise versus the loser of Meeks versus Ascendancy. So, several matchups left this afternoon, ones that you're not going to want to miss. But we are going to take a brief intermission, and when we come back, it'll be the start of the second round in round 3, Meeks versus Ascendancy. Winner advances on to the semifinals to go against Acer EU in this double elimination Season 3 postseason bracket. Appreciate everyone stopping by and hanging out. Hit the subscription button if you haven't already. We do appreciate all the thumbs up as well. Any support is helpful and it's free, so we really do appreciate it if you do have the ability to hit those buttons. We'll be right back with more Season 3 postseason action for EU. Don't go anywhere.
Prepare to start.
Baron left alive. Where is Baron? In the spawn. Did somebody
Spud in the bottom going absolutely crazy, getting the 2-way.
Match point. Prepare to start.
Baron left alive. Where is Baron? In the spawn. Did somebody
Spud in the bottom going absolutely crazy, getting the 2-way.
Match point.
welcome back everybody to the VAIL VRML Season 3 EU postseason double elimination bracket. My name's Nightfire with 2 E's, and we finished one of several games this afternoon. Acer EU versus Cryptics, leading with Acer EU advancing on to the semifinals and Cryptics going down to our losers bracket. We now have the second game of the winners bracket, and it's Meeks versus Ascendancy. Loser here goes down and challenges, I believe, Poise in the losers bracket, and they play that out today. So losers bracket matchups will be played out after this series, and two teams will have their seasons finished, and they'll be knocked out of the Season 3 double elimination bracket. The winner of the Season 3 double elimination bracket comes out on top with a in-game cosmetic skin custom designed for their team and then sold on the marketplace with revenue share going to the winning teams. It's a really cool opportunity, only present within VAIL and only because of our support that we have from Axe Labs with the VRML and with their dedication to the esports space. It's a really cool, very unique opportunity for these top teams, and we're really happy to be able to facilitate that as a prize for Season 3 this season. And also a reminder that if you're in the NA side, we do have a VRML Con happening July 25th to the 27th, where there are 5 tournaments split up across Pavlov, Onward, VAIL, Breachers, and Orion Drift, each with $5,000 in cash prize pool, except for Onward, for a total of $20,000 in cash on the table for teams that want to compete for it. I highly anticipate that we'll see a bunch of top-tier squads coming down to Phoenix for a chance at that $5,000 cash, but I'm also curious to see if teams are going to try and prioritize mastering multiple games so that they can win more than just $5,000, because that certainly is an option on the table at VRML Con. Also, we're on 1.6, brand new update from the likes of Axe Labs. We really do appreciate their consistent support to the game. And I've given the ready up to the folks at home, and so we should be diving into Meeks versus Ascendancy soon here. Quick look at matchup history to see how these teams have fared against each other before this season. Meeks scraping away with a win, 27-20. I anticipate that Ascendancy will give this a hard-fought battle today, as they have throughout the regular season, and we should see a pretty dang good back and forth this afternoon. Map 1 has been selected, and much like with Half-Baked Tactics and Touch Grass and Acer EU and Cryptics, Cliffside is where we are headed for our second map of our first map, of this best of 3 series. It's hard to keep track sometimes. And here we go, into the action. Again, a shout out to Axe Labs. We haven't had a mini map on this map on the spectator client for a long time, but they went ahead and added it with 1.6, paying attention to the fine details. Love to see that out of a quality dev team like Axe Labs is. And here comes the pistol round. Smokes over the top. The push coming through as random arrow seems to be the front line here. Full stack coming in. And a nice nade connects from Semtax. Pinch from the side from Yikes. Just does a touch of damage, and the duo on the offense barrels through for a couple of kills, and now forcing the swing here. Yikes, catches one. Multiple more tucked in. Refrag from Gray on the back line. A flank coming in as well from the likes of Fems. The duo trying to pinch here is Gray. Catches one. The swing there from Ascendancy. Reality on VR. No, Knock catches the kill on the Gray, and Fems survives the brawl as Meeks take a early lead here against Ascendancy. Let me double check my rosters, because I do think I have them right, but who knows. Shout out to everyone tuning in, hanging out, and enjoying the action this afternoon. We do appreciate you. Yes, I do have the teams on the right rosters. Ooh, and a beautiful flash from Infused as they barrel forward in an aggressive defensive posture. Pick up a double, looking for 3, but only get 2. Refrag comes in from Ferdinand, finally shutting him down, and then through the smoke does a little bit more damage. Wards off random arrows, who is hunting for some early picks, and this entire defense really getting very aggressive We've seen, like with Acer EU, sometimes that aggression really pays off. Sometimes you can overextend a little bit too far towards one direction or the other, as Yikes does try and catch them out on the cross. That's a nice nade toss. Doesn't catch any kills. A-site definitely on the menu. You can see everyone on the rotation. Oh, except for reality on VR. Goes down to Yikes on the back line. And the 1-2 punch. Meeks with an early 2-0, but a close brawl back and forth nonetheless from Ascendancy. As you expect from seeds 2 and 3 in the regular season, teams that have had plenty of experience fighting against each other and teams that are right up there at the top of the EU region. Teams that will be competing against Acer EU in the semifinals. At least one of them will. The winner advances on to go up against Acer EU. The loser goes down into the loser's bracket. These teams could rematch each other. We could see all kinds of different things happening with that double elimination bracket, but depends who comes out on top there. Nobody getting picked up yet. No early kills. Everyone pretty tucked in. Everyone pretty spread out. A little bit of poking and prodding over at A, a little poking and prodding at B. I think they're trying to get an early pick so they can kind of then kick off choice on side. But right now, Scanner leans towards B. We're about to have an engagement on this short corner as Gray finds one. There's the trade back. I am danger. Can't pick up the double. Random arrows with the quick one. Yikes, trying to fight back Ferdinand up through the middle. Gray also looking for a little piece of the action from that long lane. And we get into 3v4. Holding pattern now with 35 seconds left. B definitely has to be the call here. As Yikes stays tucked in. They're going to be a key element in defending. No, they drop off right as the cross happens. On the flank comes Fems. They'll go down to Ferdinand watching for it. The duo going to crash down to sight as that nade utility comes out and is cooked a little too much. They will catch Gray. Or excuse me, knock through those scanner plants, and Gray picks up a big double. Swings for the third, can't find it. Ferdinand shuts it down into the 1v1. On the scanner, Yikes is going for the stick. Ferdinand can't get there in time. The nade toss is perfect. It forces Yikes off the scanner. Can't stick it. Ferdinand tucks in a little longer, waits for Yikes to peek out. They have to go back to the scanner, get all that time back onto it that they had, and they're going to fake it out again. Not going for the full scanner. Using the scan for a bit of cover, and Ferdinand plays it beautifully. Ascendancy.
Round starting. Get ready.
They're in this one off of a big clutch there. Really big nade as they scrambled up to that site. That would have been scanner interrupted just because they didn't have a line of sight. If they didn't have that utility, it would have been a 3-0. So, pretty good stuff. Get the overhead again. No one really extending up. Everyone just kind of looking for a little bit of a pick. Semtex catches Fems on A site. That weakens A site defense. And we'll see if Knock in reality on VR, excuse me, wants to push up a little bit more at A site. Everyone trying to inch their way forward, but nobody finding kills. Reality on VR. Pokes out for a minute. A nice nade there. Semtex catches in Semtex. There's a good frag onto Reality, but it doesn't catch them, and Reality picks up the kill. Means A site's finally open and infused. Rest of the defense rotating quickly. Random arrows also there on the short corner. Nice nade toss. Not going to catch anyone. They're also zoned out from a nade themselves. Scanner should go down. 3v2 with a big flank here from Infused coming in. They may be able to catch Knock on the rotation, and they do catch them out and unaware. Now the pinch coming in, but not successful other than the 1-for-1 there. Infused and Semtex both catching kills takes us into the 1v1. Good flashes, none connecting. Semtex staying tucked in. Infused looking for their back but can't find it. Time ticks down on the scanner. 15 seconds left. Infused still can't find Semtex, who's just barely dodging these advances, and finally Semtex catches the kill. 2-2.
Round starting.
Random arrows is tucked in. Infused getting pushed off of site pretty heavily. Random goes down quickly to Reality Beyond VR, swing in the corner. Quick refrag there from Infused, but the scanner does go down, and Infused barrels up the double no. Traded 1-for-1 on site. 3v3 and 3v2. Nice nade from 24 Gray. Now site is weak. Scanner getting interrupted. Is anyone here to stop this? Nobody is. This is going to be a full scanner stick, and the round into the hands of Meeks, with Ascendancy still able to defend.
Round starting. Get ready.
This half, these teams being very patient. Again, just looking for early picks, anything to set them off, as Gray catches Reality on VR up through the middle. This bounce doesn't catch a kill. Right up through the center. Yikes, takes a bit of damage. Ferdinand does go down. Fems finally finds that line. Damage done. The flash comes in. The push. Come all the way through, and instead a little bit of crossfire from Infused. And goes over the top. Not going to quite catch the kill. This flash does blind Infused as they were trying to push up for the retake, but they'll swing and find no, only one. That was a crazy push up there from Nock to be right up alongside Infused. 1v4, I think. Yeah, Nock's going to be overwhelmed. Gray catches that kill, and Meeks are in a comfortable lead 4-2 here, map 1.
Starting.
And Gray might catch this cross. Big prediction, only gets one though. Oh, and the nade's botched, and a full press here coming quickly. Ferdinand, Reality on VR. A very fast A-site push that is completely catching this defense off guard. Tax with a nice pick. Oh, and yikes, missing some shots, and then no, does find the kill. Can't find any more than that, though. I am the danger. Reality on VR, both picking up one of their own, and could be going to a 4-4 half, quite frankly, at this pace. Very 10 and 4 on the afternoon so far. Won't be running into the action though, as random arrows here. Going to be the front line. Catches 2 through the smoke. That stings, but a big pickup. Makes it a third. Finds the fourth. Random arrows looking for the full ace as they absolutely shut down the advance towards B, and Knox alone with Scanner. Not a good final round, and not one that's going to push them 4-4. Look how aggressive Meeks is getting. Finds 2, almost pops up for 3, but not quite as impressive as the replay that led it to here. Triple kill. 2 through the smoke. Shuts down the third on the push up. Finds the fourth for the quadra kill, and just like that, we swap sides. Meeks up 5-3 against Ascendancy. As Ascendancy get their defensive half started, I think they're in a pretty good position, quite frankly. On the Ascendancy side, I think getting 3 rounds on offense is pretty strong. A lot of blind fire. That seems to have zoned off this offense from wanting to push A side at least. And so the B swarm comes in. Vertimon swings out for a big double. Reality on VR on the back line finds the kill. And the offense gets absolutely shut down as Infused has to clutch up a 1v5 on the pistol round with half HP. They've got 2 so far. Not too bad. Danger catches the kill out, though, and that lead getting slimmer and slimmer for the Meeks side. Ascendancy, unfortunately, suffering a disconnect. Hopefully they get back in the next 10 seconds. Bye. Now wait, see how this series unfolds, because we are into a nice back and forth map 1 here. Last time it was a 29-20 scoreline, so we could very well be headed to a map 3. For our second map of the afternoon, as Ian the Danger is up front and dangerous. Overextending through the smoke, not ready for anyone behind them, and whoa, Semtex. The refrag, the retake coming in here. Trying to surround this offense, and they are indeed doing that as Vertimon catches a double kill. All that's left, Fems with an SMG tucked into a corner outside of B. Apologies on that. This is a little bit of action on the round, but it's okay. We're staying on board reality on VR for this one, as they do get traded down by Gray into the 2v3. I am the danger, all that's left on defense. And they'll go down to Gray, and we are in a series this afternoon, 5-6, map 1.
Get ready.
Doing a fast rollout coming in here on offense, barreling towards B side, 24 Gray, looking for some kills. Bambuza and Reality VR finding them through the smoke. Nades and frags coming in, utility over the top towards B, and the aggressive push definitely did not work as Fem's able to catch one. I'm the danger on the backline, looking for more. The big flank is coming in. It's a long rotation from Infused, but if it pays off, they may be able to pick up one or two with their backs exposed. Definitely unexpected on the flank, and you can kind of tell they're trying to draw the team away from this position, but the trade comes through, and now B-side is a little exposed. Scanner could get picked up here. They can see Fems is trying to get it, but keeps grabbing ammo instead. Does pick up Scanner eventually, and should be able to cross towards B. Oh, definitely contested. Ferdinand watching that line, as is Semtex, and maybe the rotation to A is the right choice. They have plenty of time, 50 seconds left. We'll see if that's read by this defense and if they do swing over to A. Because right now they're pretty tucked over by B. And yeah, this is an easy A rotation. Scanner definitely going to go down. Fems has the opportunity for the 1v2.
Scan started.
On board Semtex with the SMG, likely to run straight into the line of sight here of Fems, who's tucked into this far corner, and the duo actually now pushing in. Fems may have a chance for a 1-2 punch. They'll swing out and find only one. Semtex with the kill. 15 seconds left as they sprint up to Scanner. Should have plenty of time to interrupt it. And does get a little close. But with 5 seconds left, Ascendancy tie up the series 6-6.
Round starting.
Very impressive series here this afternoon from two teams that have qualified through to this point through the winners bracket with multiple wins. Loser here goes up against Mini Meeks in the losers bracket. If you lose in the losers bracket, then your season is finished. So the pressure kind of getting there for these teams now, as they don't want to lose their first series in this double elimination bracket. They want to go on up against Acer EU. That's where the winner will be facing off against in the semifinals. Cryptics came pretty close to delivering a loss to Acer EU, 9-6 map 1. Ferdinand with the patient play there, catches the kill, and Semtex staying tucked in, waiting for that offense to push B-side. Those shots do come in and miss. That knife nearly connects with random arrows, just zips over their shoulder. And what is the play? The drop back and the catch out. Ferdinand scoops up the rotation. You can see they're going A site, but are they ready for I Am the Danger, who's patiently waiting, tucked in over at A. Also have Ferdinand here holding this short angle, so it's all a matter of timing. When are they going to try and push out? What's that going to look like? Are they going to deny any vision? They're going to push up pretty free. Gray going to be able to get Scanner down here because of a nice bit of smoke that's denying vision from a couple of defenders. Fem's able to catch one, but has 3 more to go, as Scanner did get planted. That's pretty big. Makes it more possible for Fems to actually clutch this. I don't believe Reality and VR and Ferdinand are going to really allow that, though, as they both swing use their player numbers to their advantage. Reality finds the final kill, and Ascendancy take the lead for the first time in this series. I think Meeks have been in the lead by 1, 2, 3 points all map long, and once we side swap, Ascendancy defend, we see them back on top 7-6. Now 2 more to go, and they've got a map 1 victory up against Meeks, a team that in the past they have had a tough time against. Meeks winning 27-20. I think if anything, that's a sign for the likes of this Ascendancy squad that if they do win this map, they cannot let up, because Meeks definitely going to be fighting hard for every inch in this best of 3, I imagine. Coming in, zoning off the defenders, but if you zone the defenders off and then don't push because of their zone, are you really gaining anything from that zoning? I'm not sure. Trading here. Ace B site definitely wide open, but there's an on-site defender still alive. Does get picked off. Random arrow snaps up in time, and here comes the retake from Vertimon. Eye on the danger. Ascendancy not looking good on this defensive round. Meeks in control. B site planted, and they've got the defense facing the wrong way, but thankfully Random was looking behind them. Catches one. Eye on the danger. Got infused. Vertimon now pushing into a 1v2. Gonna be able to get all the way up to site. Can't find random arrows. We are tied up 1-1 here. Or 7-7 rather. Might as well be 1-1. 7-7, getting danger close to an 8-8 tiebreaker where winner takes all in map 1. Really nice coordinated effort, though, from Meeks there to push towards B and kind of overwhelm the on-site defense. Good utility, like I said, the nades zoning the defenders off of site, allowing that push to happen. They got that pick they needed. That nade nearly connects, so it goes just a little wide. And we just kind of posture over at the outside of B for now. Semtex trying to dodge nades. Random arrows catches one, makes it two. Nice nade over the top, infused with a nade two, and B site absolutely cleaned out by utility tosses, and again, a 2v5 retake. Vertimon and I am the danger. Sometimes these big round losses are easier to swing back from. You almost have more time to talk in between rounds with your team if you're all dead. But at point. And only the first in this best of 3 series that we have this afternoon, and then one more series to go for the losers bracket. Used an early kill. Yeah, an aggressive push-up from Bambuza. Ascendancy caught out in an A-site plant this time, and on the retake, they catch 2 kills. That's huge. The duo doing exactly what they need to do, pinching up towards site. Needs that high ground kill. They need Vertimon to get up there, and oh no, the 1-for-1 puts Reality and VR onto a clutch position. A 1v2, time ticks down, 10 seconds left. They have to go for the stick. Hands on. The retake's coming in. One rifle up. No, they can't get the one-handed kill. The duo was pinching in, and it's Meeks squeaking by, but nonetheless scooping up a solid map 1 win in this best of 3 series for Ascendancy. Fighting awfully hard for this one, though. And you'll love to see out the gate Cliffside here delivering such a close series. Makes me wonder where we go to map 2 and if Meeks are going to be done in 2 on this one. 29 and 20 scoreline comes through because of a, mandatory 3 maps played in a series during the regular season. I don't know how this will unfold with that not being the case in this double elimination bracket. If you lose 2 rounds, you're done. You don't need to play that third in the best of 3, and if you lose here, you go down to the losers bracket. A reminder that we'll be jumping down to the losers bracket after this series finishes to watch a matchup or 2 there, and then we'll be done for the weekend, and at least for the EU region. NA starts up 3 p.m. PST, so do be ready for that. And we'll have 2 best of 3s to tune into there, and I do believe a winners bracket that we'll be watching. So winners bracket down to the losers bracket, and teams getting eliminated in NA this afternoon. So a couple of good series for us to catch that I'm very much looking forward to. And obviously another map here as we wait for Ascendancy to maybe swap out a player or 2. We'll run a quick ad break. When we come back, it's going to be map 2 in this best of 3 series, so don't go anywhere. More VAIL Season 3 EU postseason action coming up.
Prepare to start.
Baron left alive. Where is Baron? In the spawn. Can somebody
Go.
Spud in the bottom going absolutely crazy, getting the 2-way.
Match point. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for patiently waiting for us
to get ready and into map number 2. We had a technical lobby reset there, so we do apologize for that small delay, but you got to see the good ads for the new 1.6 update, join the alliances, and VRML Con. 2 big events that we're happy to promote. And it looks like we are about ready to get into map 1. Into a unique technical difficulty here. That's okay. We'll sort things out. You get to watch replays from our first map of this best of 3, and we've obviously also played out another series with Acer EU winning, qualifying on, beating Cryptics in 2 maps. Let's see if Meeks is going to do that here this afternoon. Might miss the pistol round, unfortunately, due to these technical issues. I had a brief crash, but as soon as we're back, we'll be back. And again, I appreciate everyone's patience and these pauses and timeouts, because sometimes you need them in the tournament format. Hard to go an entire day without tech difficulties of some nature when you're running a VR event, that's for sure. And you see that we only have, well, maybe there's 10, hold on, let's see. Have 10 in, and we are into our first round, and so we will just dive into it. Oh, round 2, sorry, wrong intro, but nonetheless we're here, and we're in for round 1. Knock tries to vault up, looks for the shots, doesn't connect, using this ladder as a bit of a surprise peekaboo position there. Reality on VR also trying to hold things down as 24 Gray battles back over the top at B site. The only defender left alive, but full HP. Gray is going to swing out. Finds Reality on VR. Can't transfer up to Knock, who catches the kill. Semtex also there. And the Ascendancy point gets put in early here on map 2. So we didn't miss one. We didn't miss much. Well, we're seeing some debate on Cliffside and its value as a map, if it's a good quality map, how it differs from the standard ones that we've come to know a lot like Suna. Very similar to a lot of the other map designs, minimal, limited lane options. I feel like Cliffside has a lot more options than on your typical map in terms of how you can approach things, and nice pickup there. Key for random arrows to be able to continue this advance, but what an A that comes in and catches out Fems. Random arrows also, and now just infused alone as Yikes picks up 2 over at A site. Scanner's down at B, so that A site clear not too valuable just yet, as infused does get Scanner, is able to drop back and avoid both utility and pressure. But are they going to get the, yeah, they have to go all the way around because Semtex could catch the rotation. Nearly does catch them, but Yikes just waiting over at A, as Meeks are going to take this one all the way to the other site. With 40 seconds left, they got plenty of time.
Seconds remaining. Scan started.
Nade over the top. Catch Semtex. They'll pick up a nade off the floor for themselves, though. Toss that one over. Doesn't catch the kill. On-site push coming in as the flash comes out. Yikes. Trying to fend off 2 from both sides. Time ticking down. 20 seconds. Yikes catches 1 knock. Catches Yikes. We're into a 1v1. Still time ticking down. 15 seconds. Infused has the right idea. tuck in and wait, and as they cross, yeah, not going to be enough time to interrupt that scanner. We'll get shut down by Infused, and Meeks putting our point on the board as we tie up 1-1. Who goes down to the loser's bracket? That's what's decided in this series this afternoon. Cryptics already getting knocked down by Acer, and now Meeks looking to take Ascendancy out and push them down to the loser's bracket. Pick up from Gray. That's a good start to their offense. Ferdinand is still here, though, tucked in and waiting. Scanner is getting pushed here, and Ferdinand does see one. Doesn't wait for the second. Best to deter, and now find a nice kill. Good swing out there. Ferdinand's going to use that for pressure. Slowly work their way up to the side of Random, and can't find that kill. Fem's actually the one that picks up two. Yikes, actually. Supporting Fem's on that long lane, and it does leave just Semtex alone. 1v4, Scanner down at A. Nice flash, but not nice enough. Random Arrows quickly turns and burns. Catches Semtex out. Meeks with a very clean offensive point here. 2-1 on Suna Knight. This Meeks squad definitely locked in and coordinated. You're seeing great bits of utility, the smokes, the spread, drawing attention to A and B, forcing this Ascendancy squad to stay split up on their defense, and we could run into an early bit of exchange here as Fem's not ready for reality on VR, getting aggressive up through the tunnel. Thankfully, Infused catches that kill. They were definitely looking for it. Needed to shut down reality from pushing in from their flank. Would have put a whole wrench in the B-side play. And for now, because Fem caught that kill, we'll push is still on. Ooh, nice one from Knock, long range. Picks up the double in the trade. A-side's gone, and so it comes down to Gray in a 1v3. Ferdinand tucks in.
30 seconds remaining.
Gray, I think, sees Ferdinand popping up a little bit there. Semtex on the back line. 20 seconds is plenty of time to scan. And that's a great line. Good smoke. Scan going to go down. Actually, not a good smoke. Goes a little bit too far, and that's a good nade. Semtex finds the frag. The Semtex. Going to make it 2-2.
Scan interrupted. Round starting. Get ready.
I think it's going to be another close one. Map 2, not going to be an easy win for either team. That's for dang sure. I got to wonder what's going to happen with Ascendancy on the side swap. You know, are they going to have an as arguably successful offensive half as Meeks have so far? 2 points in the books, looking to get a few more, I imagine, and continuing to press A. This time a full stack A. Very different than what they have been doing, a 3-2 split. It's a full stack, and here comes the difference. It's this aggression. Yikes, catches Semtex out. barreling forward on the short lane. Another kill, more utility up over the top. Gray catching knock on the flank. Ferdamon absolutely overwhelmed by enemies, so they tuck into the corner on the bottom of the stairs, and nobody else can really do much of anything. Reality, Bambuza, all going down, and it's a flawless round for Meeks as they absolutely overwhelm B-side, and that feels like a multi-round setup from my perspective. Last 2 rounds, they go a 3-2 split. They slowly work their way up towards B. They throw attention over towards A. It's reasonable to assume for Meeks or Ascendancy that they do stack a 3-2 split B A side. Maybe Meeks reads into that and decides to then commit to a full stack B. Now that they've won B, they're going to go back to the 3-2 split, but this time push A. So you're seeing all the variety getting thrown out here by Meeks in this second round. All of the calculations they're making to try and disrupt this defense. And right now, there's 4v2 with A-Site getting pushed in a 1v2. Semtex forced to stay over and fight 24 Gray over at B. Scanner shifting over towards B2, which is very interesting. Semtex should hear these footsteps underneath. Maybe they're going to end up trying to vault out, but Gray won't allow it. Great coordination. Gray swings as the push comes up from the bottom lane, and the scanner is planted easily at B site. Wonderful coordination from Meeks. Huge rotation at the end. And this Meeks team feels like they're coming alive here on the offense in these late rounds. More to go in the half, then we swap sides. Ascendancy need to just throw a counter out. Find some success here, and I think Reality on VR definitely use an early pick. And Moose is going to throw an Incend to slow them down a little bit, but the duo, the pair, is swinging wide, fast and furious. Reality trades with one. On site, they lose their defense. The crash back from Ferdamon. Caught out by random arrows. The rotations, sometimes the hardest to execute on is Nock tries to get up here. Random catches Nock through the smoke, and it leaves Semtex alone. 1v3, scanner down. Only long-range battles ahead of them as Fems catches them from the back of the map at A site. Meeks in a flow right now. 5-2 map 2. If they win this one, they're going to go challenge Acer EU. And frankly, if they're playing this coordinated against Acer, I very much look forward to that series. I'm eager to see how Acer EU plans to counter what is a super synced Meeks offense right now. Feels like even maybe planned out rounds in advance. Like we're going to go 2-3, 2-3, then go B, then split A. Then, you know, it's really nicely coordinated, and it's working out and kind of drawing this defense around. You can see now how heavily stacked and now shifting towards A this defense is, but the reality is that while Yikes is here, they're getting pushed by Scanner. And just like that, Semtex is alone, picking up a double nonetheless, but alone with Scanner going down at B. Can't find the third. Yikes cleans it up. 6-2 Meeks here. They are looking very good. Do I have the rosters wrong? Oh gosh. Hopefully I don't. Oh, I do. Shoot. Oh no, I had it right. We swap sides. You guys made me worried. Yes, Nock is on Ascendancy. Round 9, pistol opener. Reality on VR goes down early. Bambuza pushing forward, and we just trade back and forth. Suddenly Nock is left alone. And Meeks Looking to lock in 7-2 as Fem scoops up, knock the one and only attacker left.
Round starting.
That really made me second guess myself. Ebro, how dare you? You blame Ebro for making me second guess myself. But also, thank Ebro for helping me swap teams on round 9. So it cancels out. Very different split this time, coming in from Meeks. Excuse me, Ascendancy rather. I forget that they're on the attack now. Spreading out, finding early picks. Whittling down this defense to just 2. This is a solid bit of offense from Ascendancy. What they're going to need if they want to claw back here. And maybe they will claw back. This could be a very close map too, quite frankly. I think we could be headed 7-7.
Scan start.
How clean that rifle round went. 4 left alive, near flawless. Pretty solid. 2 points away for Meeks, though. And they've got themselves a Series W. And again, a very different offensive style, splitting up pretty much into a 3-2 split to some degree, but everyone looking for a pick down a lane. Bambuza does catch Gray. Kind of tuck in over at B. No A-site push yet. Definitely on the menu. Fem's here on the close corner, just waiting for them to peek out. They will swing for a double kill, a huge pickup on defense. Suddenly they're starting to get whittled down on the attack here on Ascendancy, and Meeks looking to put another point on the board. The fight there, knock. A left-hand aimer doesn't have the right-hand peek advantage. If you're aiming right, you have a little bit of that extra coverage coming out with your rifle, clearing the corner a little bit better. Oh yeah, VR rocking his custom VAIL skin. Pretty freaking cool. You can get that in store now, I believe. Random Arrows doesn't even catch knockout, but reality on VR. Up here, random just swinging around, and eventually Infuse catches the kill. Meeks in good shape, 8-3 here. Does Ascendancy have to fight for their life every round from here on out? Otherwise, they go down to the loser's bracket. The loser's bracket going to consist of Poise, who I do not think is going to be an easy fight. We may follow the loser here, Ascendancy down, well, if they lose, down into that battle against Poise. Cryptics and Mini-Meeks also playing. And 2 teams will be eliminated. But a good start here for Ascendancy. Found themselves a few key kills. Went through the smoke. Bambuza catches Fem as well. Call comes in. That B is clear, and they will clear it out. Infuse goes down. Rotation from random coming in, but I doubt they'll be able to clutch up a 1v4 with 3 full HP players on Ascendancy. Scanner gets tossed over. Eventually, it'll get planted.
Started.
"28 seconds. Random has to find a huge 1v3 clutch here, and it's just such a hard space to peek. They got to catch the pop-up, they got to catch the far swing, and then you have to catch the corner.
Match point.
Really hard to transfer to that. So Ascendancy with a nice push up. Managed to lock in another point, keeping it close. Nice to be sitting 8-4, but still the pressure very much on here this afternoon. Winner is done for the day. They don't got to keep playing. Loser has to go down for another best of 3, and that's kind of a long evening of really competitive VAIL, which takes a lot of focus and energy. So gonna be a bit of a test of stamina. Nice peek from Yikes, waiting for Semtex to hit that corner. Maybe a quick peek up from Reality on VR. We'll find only one, almost 2. Before Random Arrows picks them off. Well, as the smokes come in towards long B. Scanner still in the hands of Knock up through the center. Rotating over though, and B-site definitely seems to be the play, but Gray here a huge threat to this trio now advancing towards B.
Seconds remaining.
And really patient here from Gray as they finally do pop up. 30 seconds remaining. A nice kill from Knock. The 1v3 picks up another good one. That's a double. Can't find the third though, and Fems shuts it down. Meeks are going to be challenging Acer EU in the semifinals as they lock in a 2-map win in this best of 3 series. A solid performance from them on Cliffside and Suna, and unfortunately, Ascendancy couldn't quite get map 1 or 2 here to push us to a 3rd in this best of 3 series. Does mean that we are going to get ready for our losers bracket matchups. Going to give Ascendancy now a little bit of time to breathe and get ready for that another best of 3, but I imagine going up against Poise is not going to be easy either. Meeks, I think, a little bit higher of a tier challenge. They're sitting at 2nd versus 4th seed in comparison to Poise, but still, or 5th seed rather, they have tough battles ahead of them. So we will see how the loser bracket unfolds. They may jump around to multiple games. We may jump down to Cryptics, Mini Meeks, see how that's going while we're also watching Poise and Ascendancy. But either way, we have 2 games coming up being played at the same time in a losers bracket. And we'll be tuning into those shortly. But a quick shout out to everyone tuning in and hanging out today. Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. We do appreciate all of the support that you can give to the VRML, and those 2 things are free. So we really do appreciate it. If you can, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. Come back for more action, because for the next 2 months, we're going to have all kinds of tournaments, from Orion Drift to Breachers postseason to Onward regular season to obviously VAIL's season finals. So then we get into the online qualifiers for VRML Con, which you can get tickets to right now. If you go to vrmasterleague.com/VRMLCon, you can buy your ticket and enter into all 5 tournaments that are going to be played out at VRML Con. And if you qualify, you'll get a chance at $20,000 in cash split across 4 of the 5 tournaments. Onward does not have a prize pool. So that's $5 grand if you were to win the VAIL tournament, the Breachers tournament, the Pavlov tournament, and the Orion Drift tournament. You would be making $20,000. So pretty awesome opportunity, and already a bunch of tickets sold. So a lot of folks going to be showing up to VRML Con this year at Phoenix at the Arizona State University Media Experience Immersive Center. It's a really cool space. It's going to be, I think, far nicer than any place we've had before, and I'm anticipating more crowded than ever before. So it's going to be a lot of fun, something to look forward to, but we are going to go to a brief break. When we come back, more best of 3 action, the losers bracket. Don't miss it. to the VAIL VRML Season 3 EU Double Elimination Postseason Bracket. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. We are here for our final series of the afternoon and this weekend. It doesn't mean we're done with the Double Elimination Bracket. We obviously have a lot more games to come next weekend, starting Saturday and Sunday the same time, 9 a.m. PST, 12 Eastern. If you do want to catch that action, you can catch it here on the VRML network. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, because there is more to come. We are only at the midway point, essentially, of this double elimination bracket, and I'm very interested to see how this series goes. I think Poise Ascendancy is going to be a really fun one to tune into, but we also do have Mini Meeks versus Cryptics going live right now as well. So 2 teams going to be eliminated this afternoon. 4 teams battling out for their chance to compete through to the losers bracket and eventually against the winner of Acer EU versus Meeks. So either way, you know, any way you shake it, you're going to have a lot of hard games ahead of you, because you're going against the loser of that series and then you're going against the winner of that series. You know, the losers bracket is a long road for a team to crawl up through. So to be down in here is tough, and we'll see how both of these top teams handle it with their season on the line. Winner here again of the regular of this whole tournament gets a in-game cosmetic customly designed alongside the Axe Labs team that then gets sold in the shop, and a revenue of that skin is shared with the winning team. It's a really cool opportunity, only present in VAIL, presented by Axe Labs because of our partnership with them in the VRML, and we really do appreciate their support. They're also contributing in for $5,000 to the cash prize pool at VRMLCon. So again, incentive for you fine folks that enjoy VAIL to get down to VRMLCon at Phoenix, Arizona, and play for a chance at a nice bit of cash in the cash prize pool. I know some of these players also specializing in multiple games, playing Breachers, Pavlov as well, and so I'm very interested to see if we're going to see teams that spread across the multiverse of VRML, if you will. And while we wait, a quick shout out to all the fine folks that are tuning in. We do appreciate you. We thank you for waiting, because your patience has paid off. We are now diving in to round number 1, map 1 on Miru Night, to open things up in this elimination bracket best of 3. On the defense, we have Ascendancy. On the attack, we have Poise. And it's a fresh start for both of these teams. Poise actually crawling up through this losers bracket a little bit already. Winning against the Senders, ascending, and now going up against Ascendancy. Looks like it was destined. Vertimon tries to fend off this huge vault from Sir Ultimate. Absolutely catching them off guard, but Reality on VR on the flank. Finds one. Knows there's a second on the back line, trying to catch it through the box, and the shots connect. A big double for Reality on VR. Ascendancy ascending to a 1-point lead. Reality on VR showing off their custom skin in-game. You love to see it. The ROVR on the handle of the pistol, on the charging handle of the rifle. I think they also have an entire player cosmetic skin they're not showing off. As Granddad and Poise both find early kills, they'll shut down any aggressive defensive posturing here, and now I am the danger. Waiting at A site with Scanner likely to push them at A. Nades and utility going over the top of Bambuza. They're going to need support from Semtex, who's also trying to watch B site for the push that is coming in. It comes out in the trade there. Bambuza actually catches Granddad on the back line. On the push here, Poise Billiam gets rid of on-site defense, and now Semtex, after catching Gemma over at B, has to rotate A for a 1v3. Nice pick up there on Sir Ultimate. Knows they're getting flanked, trying to catch Prodigy's out. Billiam now down here as well. 15 seconds left, and yeah, so many angles to check with so little time. Tied up 1-1.
Get ready.
And we are off to the races. In what is a anticipated back and forth. Like I said, both of these teams very close. I think seed 3v5 right now. Pretty close in the regular season ladder there, as Reality on VR does get some information on that jump check. Nades and utility coming in as Prodigy's and Ultimate try to push up. They have scanner in hand. Reality on VR is here on the short swing. They'll find one. They fly across, looking for more on the long swing, and no, they can't quite scoop it up. A lot of kills fumbling in there as the scanner goes down and is quickly scooped up by Billiam. Birdemon gonna have to hold down A side, and nobody holding down B because Gemma has hit them from the side. Semtex goes down. The scanner rotates over to B site, and now no one's home to defend the scanner plant. Billiam will put it down. Birdemon in a 1v3 retake, gonna be pretty challenging. So we may get fed the one at a time line here as Grandad swings out and Birdemon not ready for that. A nice little cleanup kill.
Round starting. Get ready.
Solid job from Grandad there as Poise takes the lead. First time that they've had it, but it's only round 4. You have room to go. I am the danger, definitely getting aggressive here. Sees the nade come over their top. The smoke going to give out some audio cues. A nice flash. I don't think catches Prodigy's out or slows them down much, but a very aggressive push up here. Gemma has gone down up through the center as well, and danger. Nice drop back. Good suppressive fire to stop the push out. Reality on VR stays tucked in on the aggressive forward position, and look at this really nice spread on defense here. They've got their early kills that kind of anticipate where this swing's coming from. Semtex nearly catches out that frag. Reality on VR nearly catches out the rotating scanner, but Prodigy is going to swing back to A. A definitely the weakest, obviously, on defense. He's looking at the overhead. B completely surrounded and swarmed. Going to be very hard to find a B site plant, but A only really has eye on the danger holding things down. Reality on VR can rotate. Danger will miss one. Nade's gonna come in. Reality on VR here to support. Rocking the Reality on VR skin with their rifle, looking for another kill. Nice flash. Yes, beautifully placed. They're gonna crash up on Sir Ultimate. Nade around the corner, and what a toss. Put that one on the replay board. Reality on VR showing off the skin. You gotta. A good looking one. We love to see partnerships like that. Something VAIL does really well with the community and obviously with VRML. We do appreciate their support. Find the danger here. Uh-oh, catches 1, 2, 3. What a massive flash! Holy moly, the swing up here on the back line. Granddad's all that's left. What happened there? We gotta look back at that replay. Granddad did manage to get Scanner. Does have the 1v4 ahead of them. There's no mechanic like Breachers with ecoing where you want to save your rifles through to the next round, so that I imagine gonna try and go for this 1v4 at some point here. Has a minute left, so maybe they're slowly just trying to work out the approach they want to take. There you go, catch a roaming. I am the danger. There you go, catch a roaming. Ferdinand, no. Lead back into the hands of Ascendancy. A quick 2-point transfer there. Big plays like this are what get him, though. I am the danger, pushing up to the corner. The flash over the top and the triple kill. Absolutely perfectly timed. Nobody saw danger in the corner there. Nobody could fight back against that. Ferdinand cleans things up at the end there, and you're going to go for another aggressive push here. Gets caught out by the smoke this time. Reality on VR does catch Gemma, though. Prodigies with a quick refrag. A nice flash over the top from Danger, slowing down this advancement. And eventually they'll go down. Prodigies catches the clip through the smoke. Only one left on A site, but it's a fast swing coming down through the midfield towards B. That may actually catch off this defense. No, it's not. Look at the rotation. Nicely being read here. They still have one on site, and Semtex isn't overextending. They know they're alone. An instant comes out to slow down the plant. Nice nade on the back line into a 1v2 with Billiam low on HP. Sir Ultimate low, a little bit less than 75% HP in a 1v2 with Scanner down, needing to be picked up. Bambuza here has an opportunity to clutch this. I don't know that they know the Scanner's down. And a good jump up from Billiam. Ties us 3-3.
Round starting.
Ties us up 3-3. I am the danger again, pushing up, catching 2 kills. Reality on VR. Rocking their custom skin that you can buy in the store now is pushing up through the midfield. Drops back to defend and avoids a grenade by tucking into the bunker there. And rely on their teammates to... Get caught out by that nade over the top of their head. Onside defense. Ferdinand rocking the Reality on VR skin. Catches a double kill. Billiam going to try and challenge the 1v5. A near flawless round that I am the danger cannot clutch up on. Scanner will get scooped up by Billiam, but I wonder if they know they have the 1v4. I think they should have an accurate kill count, and Billiam's going to try and rotate, but they'll rotate right into Ferdinand, who again cleans up the round and pushes Ascendancy back into the lead. We continue to trade back and forth, and I imagine that Poise going to be looking to lock in this final attacking round and go 5-5 or 4-4 on the half before we swap sides, which we will do next round. It'll be Ascendancy on the attack. Billiam catching Reality in VR through the smoke there. Sir Ultimate pushing up along with the team. Does have good control on the outside of A. Finally, I am the danger. Didn't push up and get aggressive, and it allowed them to get into some position. But now they do push up and catch at least a kill, but not the kills. As Ferdinand catches Gemma, they're going into the 1v2 with full HP, so very manageable. Nice pickup there onto Granddad, and only took a bullet to the shoulder, so a little bit sitting around 75% HP up against their ultimate at full. Nice smoke there is going to deny some vision along that stairwell as well. And so they are going to be able to cross and maybe stick this scanner interrupt. They at least bait it out. And Sir Ultimate has to push through the smoke and fly out of it. And Ferdimon, again, finishing the round. Clutches up the kill, and a great bit of utility there that, you know, they hear the audio cue, they know the swing's coming out, and a little jump shot to celebrate that 5-3 half, and a side swap into Ascendancy leading in map 2 here. Excuse me, map 1. Jeez. It all sort of blends together a little bit sometimes, folks. And look at this. Full stack B-side. Okay, from reality on VR. Pistols in hand. They're going to push up. Billiam staying tucked in. Catches a double headshot. Boom, boom. 2 go down. Looking for a third on site. They get overwhelmed. There's 3 left alive there at full HP, no less. And 3 more to go. Ascendancy, like I said, may end up rematching. Acer EU, I think they... No, Ascending. They beat Mini Meeks. They could end up rematching Mini Meeks. If Acer... Ascendancy wins against Poise and Mini Meeks beats Cryptics. I don't know, there's a lot of potential rematches here, but we've got a match in front of us with Bambuza. Find the danger, catching big kills, the defense getting picked apart, but uh-oh, the double kill, swing up, no, just one. And only one, Gemma now. On the stairwell, still looking for a little bit of some action on the side. Ferdimon can't clean up the round this time, and we go into a 1v2. Gemma low on HP, with scanner down, no utility available. Has to push up because clock's ticking, and Ascendancy, an easy one on the board, 7-3. Good offensive half coming in here from this team. They've really warmed up. We have a cat table knocking stuff over. You heard that? It's her ultimate. Push up and catches a nice kill. Reality on VR is all that's left over there, and nice bit of a bounce back from Poise. Keeping this thing alive on defense. I've already paid the cat tax. You just have to find it early in the stream. Big fat white cat. Fat fluffy white cat. Billiam, the 1-2 punch. Reality on VR and Ferdimon, 2 standout shooters for this team now. And uh-oh, a push up from Sir Ultimate could mean a killer 2. Semtex somehow stays alive. A brawl over on B-site leaves Semtex alone, and a nice double kill. A nade and a frag leaves Scanner down in the midfield, and Semtex trying to put something together with a 1v2. Billiam low, but 16-7 on the scoreboard. That is insane for Billiam. In comparison, Ferdimon also 16-7. Reality on VR right there as the 3rd place kill leader, 11-9. Pretty solid KDs. Semtex finds another, and are they going to clutch this? Billiam so low on HP, a bullet away. There's 45 seconds left, so plenty of time. Feels like Billiam's trying to drop back off of their angle and tuck in a little bit. And with a good bit of rotating, they'll catch Semtex completely unaware. Poise chipping away at this lead. 5-7, not too bad. kind of what I was expecting. I anticipated this series to be a close one. Where these teams sit in the regular season ladder with how well they've been playing so far in this double elimination bracket. You know, Ascendancy challenging Meeks across the board there, but just couldn't quite put together a Series W. Granddad barreling up here, catching Semtex out before they can do any harm. Ready for another swing? No, Gemma instead assists over the top. And Booza catches Gemma out on the swing. Granddad comes barreling forward to fight I Am the Danger. And learns why. They are the danger. Fudges quickly, though, reinforcing their front line at A. And it allows for the back line to come in and get into position. They slow down this advance. I like the rotation back towards B, though. They've really drawn out this defense towards A. And now as they swing up to the midfield, Billiam catches two. Bambuza tries to battle it back, and a wonderful clash in the midfield that leaves Poise the victor. High fives indeed all around. Sir Ultimate and Billiam. Happy with that one. And another look at that replay. Great read from the defense to cross out when they did. Billiam with a wonderful double kill. Bambuza tries to get things back, but can't. We're into a solid back and forth this afternoon, folks, as we do dive in around 14. Headed to a 7-7 scoreline at this stage. Headed to an 8-8 potentially. Nice nade toss. Catches out the kill. Swinging out. Won't find any more. Reality on VR. Nice nade there. How does that not catch Prodigy? He's so close. Maybe does some damage. Bambuza's still fighting. Can't catch out Sir Ultimate. Suddenly Ferdinand is alone and looking for Gemma. Pushing up through the midfield, but watch the flank. It's a long one. Granddad coming in from the back line, and they'll catch Ferdinand out. Ties up the game 7-7.
Round starting. Get ready.
Getting some shout outs from Meeks going in and Ascendancy on a good series. Bambuza catches Granddad. Billiam with a quick trade to make it a 4-4. That nade comes close, but Billiam backing off in time to avoid the damage. Emma advancing up, gets an aggressive swing on to Bambuza, catches them off guard. Billiam flies up, catches Reality on VR, and A site is really exposed. Poise really extending themselves out here, and look at this. On the back line, I Am the Danger plants the scanner. What does this defense do? Are they going to continue to prioritize this push onto what is Semtex behind them, who's now kind of harassing and throwing utility at them on the rotation? Semtex needs to hurry up. Danger is here to defend. Catches one, swings for a two, and what a double to hold things down. Comes down to Gemma on the defense to clutch this up, and they'll catch the first of two. Both players full health. Semtex in the midfield waiting for this cross. Not going to catch it. Going to allow it. And the scanner stick not going to come through. Semtex with a wonderful play and a patient one at that.
Match point.
Pushes the Ascendancy 8-7. Pushes them 8-7. Map point here in this best of three. Billiam 22-10 in the first map. Kind of insane. They're going to get aggressive here. Nade coming out over the top towards Reality. Bambuza catches Granddad over at A. William keeps pushing. They get caught out for their aggression. The main killer for this Poise squad goes down, and that's going to hurt big time. 5 alive. This could be a flawless round for Ascendancy if they play it right. Ultimate finds themselves alone, and yeah, only slight damage
Scan start.
dealt to the offense until Sir Ultimate finally catches a kill. The flawless offensive round is squandered, and Reality on VR just tucking in here, trying to catch a final kill or just buy time at the end of the day. 28 seconds left. Ability comes in. Sir Ultimate looking to clutch up the 1v5. Not gonna happen, and Ascendancy deliver poise. A map 1 loss and lock in an early lead in this best of 3 series. Unite going well for them, and I am the danger putting on a impressive performance. What were the KDs? 14 and 11. Ferdinand 19 and 10. Poise Billiam 22 and 11. Billiam definitely trying to push that team up to the top, but at the end of the day, it is going to be Ascendancy taking away a 9-7 map 1. And where do we go from here for map 2? Where do we go from here for map 2? That's the question. I think we may jump over to check in on the mini Meeks series. Yes. Oh, and I don't see. Give me a second. I have to sort out a technical restart here. We'll see what we need to see. But while we wait, a quick shout out to everyone tuning in. We do appreciate you. If you are enjoying the stream, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. The VRML network has all kinds of content that gets broadcast here. From Breachers to Pavlov to Onward to Orion Drift next weekend. A lot of content. And if you want to catch all of the VR esports action, stick around. Again, we are just doing a